stream. We're getting ready to go live here on Destination Health in just about 45 seconds.
Your money, your taxes, your truck, and your road to success in the trucking industry. This is Trucking Business and Beyond, the show that puts the money where it belongs, back in your pocket.
Good morning,
Your money.
beautiful bunch of fuckers, and welcome to my world. I'm your host, Kevin Rutherford. It is Wednesday, April 17th. We are here live. It is time for Destination Health. Phone lines are open. Jump in and join us. We'll take some calls here starting right now. And at the bottom of the hour today, I will be joined by James White from one of our testing labs. We'll be talking about gut barrier testing and food sensitivity testing. We'll take some calls before we get there, so jump in and join us. Hit that call now button or dial us up. That number, 855-950-3835. We will get to those calls here in just a couple minutes. I have some things I want to talk about while we're lining up those calls. First, a recap on my visit to Dr. Wolfson's office. It was great to get down there and finally meet some of the staff and see the location. It really is a great place, great clinic, very modern, very kind of laid back and relaxed. I had the first appointment of the morning, went in and gave a bunch of blood, like 8 vials, and then did a big immune boosting IV. That really felt pretty amazing. Don't have any results yet. It'll be probably 2 to 3 weeks before we do the full workup based on all the numbers, so I'll keep you informed on that. If you ever get a chance, if you want to work with Dr. Wolfson or his team and you ever get a chance to go physically to Scottsdale, you should. It's not required. They do a lot of work remotely, but it was really nice to get to see the location. It's also a great area. I mean, a really nice part of Scottsdale. So I had a good trip down there. I'm glad to be back. I'm tired of living in hotel rooms and eating every meal out. Although I do have to say, the food at the Desert Ridge Hilton, where we had the TIA conference, was fantastic. Trying to remember, I don't think I ever ate off property. I was down there, I think I got there Tuesday and left Sunday. And I think I ate every meal on the property. Yeah, I'm sure I did. Plenty of good options. One of the best, it's hard to call it Thai food, but it was really Thai-inspired, but it was a really high-end restaurant there on the property. We did dinner there one night. It was the panel that we had for our presentation. We went out. Really, really good Thai food. That was an amazing meal. Breakfast buffet every morning was fantastic, loaded with meat. That's my kind of breakfast buffet. They had plenty of all the pastries and all that. I just skipped that whole table. They had like a shredded beef kind of, there was a name for it, birria? No, I don't know what it was. It was really good, though. Then a smoked green chili pork, a couple different kinds of sausage, bacon, homemade salsas. You could tell everything was really fresh. I ate the breakfast buffet every single morning I was there. Um, so that was a good trip. And then, like I said, I got a chance to head over to Dr. Wolfson's. I have my continuous glucose monitor, thanks to Brad Richmond. He ordered it for me in Canada because the FDA has not approved them in the United States. They're approved in Europe, they're approved in Canada. We are not supposed to be allowed to use them here in the U.S., so I had to have it smuggled across the border. I'm not sure when I'm going to put it on. I'm trying to decide. I want to make sure when I put it on, I've got 2 weeks with it. I want to make sure that I'm set and ready to do all the testing I want to do. There's no reason I shouldn't be able to learn everything I need to learn in 2 weeks. If I need to, I'll get another sensor and we'll do another 2 weeks. But I think if I set it up right and plan it, I'll be able to learn everything I need in 2 weeks with this one sensor. So I'll keep you updated about that as well. I see we've got some calls coming in, so I will get to those here in just a minute. A couple other things I wanted to talk about. I posted quite a bit on the Tribe site this morning. I should be back to a normal schedule of posting in the morning and answering questions in the afternoon. I know I have been mostly absent from that site for almost a month with all the travel. And we are also really trying to build out our social media presence elsewhere because we need to start growing the tribe. So that's been a big focus for us. It's why we're doing the live streams, which are going well. We'll be adding to that. We'll be kind of redoing the whole studio here, so you should see a new look sometime within the next month. I'm hoping we can get that all done. New equipment. We've had far fewer technical issues lately. I probably shouldn't say that, but I'm going to. We've been working pretty hard. We've upgraded equipment. We're finally getting some of this stuff finished. I'm looking forward to a summer where I will just be spending a lot of time in front of this camera. My schedule's pretty busy right now, 5 days a week live. We'll certainly continue that. Coaching calls every Thursday and CMC every other Tuesday. That's a lot of time for me. I am not planning on working on much of anything else the rest of the summer. We don't need any new projects. There's always something out there I want to do, but I think it's time to just kind of take a break. It's not really a break. I'm still going to be working hard, but just it's time to kind of settle into our routine, focus on the programs we've got going. I'm excited about them, and also I want to get a lot of time in the gardens this year. 2 gardens. I couldn't resist planting here at the house, but I'll also be planting a lot and working on the grounds out at the homestead as well. Couple things that I posted this morning. You should go check out on the Tribe sites. I posted a list of the best-selling drugs. Let me get to that list. So this is a prediction. There were 2 numbers here. Sales up through the end of 2022, and then they are forecasting sales out to 2028. And these numbers are in billions of dollars. And this is why Big Pharma controls our medical system and why Big Pharma also controls the media because of how much spending they do on commercials. I'm not big on regulation, but I wish we would outlaw advertising pharmaceutical drugs. There's only 2 countries in the whole world that allow this, and we're one of them, and it's why Big Pharma has so much control in this country. Just to give you an idea, Humira, that's one of the biologics, very expensive drug. Sales predicted through 2028 $264 billion. That's one drug. One drug. Keytruda. I gotta remember. Most of these are biologics, or a lot of these are biologics. I forget exactly what Keytruda is for. Gets confusing because now they advertise them for all kinds of things, even if it's illegal, they do it anyway. $256 billion in sales. Lipitor, number 3. That's a statin. That drug shouldn't even exist, and it will make $178 billion. Enbrel, think that's a biologic targeted for rheumatoid arthritis, if I remember right. I was diagnosed with rheumatoid arthritis in my 20s. It's gone now, and I didn't need Enbrel. Nobody does. Here's one, though, that's interesting. I wonder how many people are going to recognize the name of this drug. It took me a little while. I had to stop and think what this drug was. Now, the other thing about this list, they tell you when the drug came on the market. Humira came on the market in 2003 and has made $264 billion. Keytruda came on the market in 2015, made $256. Lipitor's been around since 1997, and it made $178 billion. Enbrel's been around since 1998. It's made $155 billion. Comirnaty. Anybody remember or recognize that name? Drug's been around since 2020. In just those few short years, $153 billion. If you don't recognize it, that's one of the names for the COVID jab. Imagine that. Remicade, Rituxan, Opdivo, Eliquis, and Elia round out the top 10. Even the last one on the list will make $120 billion. 10 drugs, all well over $100 billion in earnings. Couple of them closing in on $300 billion. These are just the top 10. This is why our medical system is such a mess and why Big Pharma has so much control over the media. I really wish the advertising would stop. I also posted about infant mortality. Infant mortality is now up. That's not a good thing. More babies die in the U.S. now. That number should go down every year, except it has now reversed. Two really important numbers about the health of the United States. Our lifespan has gone down for a couple of years now. Now our infant mortality is going up, and I don't expect that to change. That will continue to go up. Those are really, really bad signs. One other thing I posted, youth receiving the COVID jab. What was the number here? It was kind of insane. More than 300% likely to suffer some serious negative consequences, including death, because of the vax. The studies have been coming out from around the world. They should be headline news, but they're not. Oh, boy. You know what? I forgot something today. I'm not going to say it. I'm going to get spanked again, I'm sure. All right, never mind. We'll just have to deal with it. I'm gonna get to the phone calls instead. Let's go to Massachusetts. Todd, welcome to the program.
Hey, Kevin, I didn't quite hear you say my name. You're going underwater, just so you know, in terms of the listeners. If you can hear,
is that
you
on
can hear me.
the app? I'm hearing you just fine.
Yeah, no, you were sounding like you were going underwater, and I am on the app. I just pressed the little phone icon
Okay.
to get in. But anyway, you sound pretty good right now. So I have some questions, just a little quickly on the whole Twitter X thing and your presence there during your show. You know, there's technical problems getting through, and I don't understand how you can grow the tribe if people can't, even if you fix it, how are people going to get through to you? Like I can't, like, you can't open up a space and see all the faces and all those people. It's not going to be that way, right? It's just going to be, you kind of follow through X and call in the way I just did.
Yeah, so our goal will be to get everybody on the app, everybody that wants to call in. I mean, there's two advantages of the app, really, probably more, but two big ones. One, all the past shows are on there. Once we get somebody to the app, then they have a very easy way to listen to all of our shows whenever they want. But we have to make them aware of the app. We have to make them aware of us. Yeah. You would be shocked at how many comments I have since we started the live stream about, we didn't know you were still on the air. We haven't heard you since you were on Sirius.
Okay.
Yeah. And so, you know, I always have to remember there are very different levels of listeners. We have the tribe who, the minute I was not on the air for a day or at least a week, started looking. You know, they went to our website. They tried to figure out what was going on. They got on our email list. That's the tribe. But there are huge numbers of very, very casual listeners on talk radio. And what I mean by casual is, if you're there and they happen to be on the channel, they'll listen to the show. They may even, you know, get to the point where they just kind of know to listen every day. But then there are some listeners that if you disappear, they don't think about you much. You're just not there anymore. And that is probably the bulk of the people who used to listen on Sirius. It was my job to get them to be a tribe member, to get them to be so interested in the show they made sure they didn't miss it. So we've known that those people are out there. We talked about why we didn't go after them aggressively in the beginning, and most of it was the technology. We knew we were going to have issues. We knew this was going to be hard to build out. I didn't think it was going to take this long. So now we need to get those people back and new people. We need to bring new people in. So the idea of the video streams, people scroll their social media all day long. That's what people do. They scroll their Facebook feed, or they scroll their Instagram feed, or they scroll their X feed. And we have found that video gets attention. I think it's kind of weird that people watch me stand here and talk. That's why I kind of resisted this for a long time. It didn't make sense to me. But I've been convinced that if you want to attract new people, video on a social media scroll is the way to do it. And it's working. We're not even 2 weeks into this. We haven't even, maybe we've live streamed 10 shows so far. And our numbers are going up more than anything else has caused them to go up.
Yeah, if it makes you feel any better, that's why Rush Limbaugh avoided television. One of the reasons why, because he just didn't see the point. But anyway, so if somebody opens, I want to get into health, but
sure.
If somebody opens at random, stumbles on a Twitter space and it says Kevin Rutherford or Healthy Tribe, can they raise a hand and get a question in that way, or are they just listening?
So right now, I don't want to confuse this anymore, but I haven't done a Twitter space in probably over a month. We're doing a live stream video on X, just like we're doing on Facebook and YouTube, and we're not on Instagram yet. We're still working on that. We're also working on Rumble. We are on LinkedIn. That is different than an X space. And right now, X spaces are only audio. There's no video in an X space yet. They're working on it. But I don't
Okay.
know if we will. eh, I will probably add a space at some point, one a week maybe. I just got to clear up my schedule a little bit. That's kind of a different format. Now, our goal is to take our technology and make all this work together pretty seamlessly, so that yes, if
Okay.
um, on our live stream video, for example, I could have 10 video guests or callers at a time. So, as we work out the technology to make sure that the audio is flowing back and forth from our app to these video streams and spaces, then it will be another way to get in and ask a question. But we're not quite
Okay.
there yet, putting all the pieces together, but we're getting close.
Okay. Hey, so and you probably already do know, there's very close to nothing on X for health. Just so it's a giant untapped market. And okay,
You know
the
what's interesting
last
about
time we
X
spoke.
and health? What
What?
I
What?
see on X, and here's the other thing you have to remember about X. You only see what the algorithm wants you to see based on your activity. So, what everybody sees when they scroll a social media feed, not just X, all of them are designed this way, you see
Yeah.
completely different stuff from what I see. You and I could log in at the exact same moment. We could both go to the feed, and nothing about that feed would be the same for us. The
Well, I
the
thought it was based on the
algorithm,
people I was following.
well, right. So based on what you post, who you follow, what things you comment on or like, your feed changes. When you say there isn't much health wise, my feed is loaded with health stuff. I mean,
Okay,
I
space.
follow probably close to 100 people on X that primarily post about health. And one of the things I'm finding that's
Okay,
interesting
sorry.
on health, most of the people I follow are not practitioners of any kind. They have no formal education in nutrition whatsoever. They just tend to be people who had health problems and went to either keto or carnivore and got such good results that they constantly post about it. And some of them have really big followings.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I meant spaces, live spaces. I see all these
Oh,
technical
you are
details.
correct. I have not
Yeah,
seen many spaces about health.
yeah, and it's. I'm getting so I might start my own. It's frustrating. And anyway, it's just that's why I was asking, opening the call with, can we get a tribe thing in there so people can raise their hands and ask you questions, because I think there's obviously just a mountain of untapped, prospective new members. And anyway, um, so the last time I called, it was, and I tell you, I have a history of burying my lead, which I've already done, but I did it last call. Not only did I bury it, I forgot it.